Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Road to 2000. Today we're going to be reviewing another game. It wasn't a brilliant game, but it was a great game. On this game, I was playing as black and my opponent was playing as white. My opponent started with a pawn to e3. I don't know how to pronounce this opening, so I call it the e3 pawn opening. Because if you know the opening, you know maybe I'll put it here on the screen the spelling of this opening. Maybe some of you will know how to pronounce it. I haven't get around to pronounce it. I still don't know how to pronounce it, but let's continue. Then I responded with a pawn to g6. Then my opponent played pawn to c4, continuing with that opening. Then I played knight to c6. Then my opponent played knight to c3. Then I played pawn to d6, opening up my bishop, opening the bishop's diagonal there, because I'm looking to put the black squared bishop on the other side. But I first started with the knight move to f6. Then my opponent responded with pawn bishop to b2, looking to control that diagonal. But I also put bishop to g7. So those bishops are going to be fighting for that diagonal. So my opponent plays knight to e2, the c knight to e2. Then I castled the king side. Then my opponent played the pawn to h3. Then I played pawn to e5, closing that diagonal, because this is actually the best move in this position, closing the bishops from attacking each other or closing the diagonal. Then my opponent played knight to g3. My opponent really moves his knight around before developing the other pieces, which is not following the chess principles. You have to follow the chess principles in order to have a better game. You must develop before moving out the other pieces like twice or three times. But let's not get into that too much. I played pawn to a5. Then my opponent responded with pawn to a3. Then I played bishop to d7, which is an inaccuracy. But I was looking to connect my rooks at this position. Then my opponent played bishop to d3, which is good, developing their own pieces. Then I played rook to e8, looking to protect the pawn on I think it's on e5. The pawn on e5, yes, the pawn on e5. Then my opponent covered that square that I was looking to access. Then I took back with my knight and took back with the bishop. Then I played queen to f6, attacking the f2 square, kind of, or attacking the f2 pawn. But that was not my plan, but it was also there, so I just took the square. Then my opponent responded with knight to f3. Then I played bishop to f5, looking for the bishop exchange, which my opponent didn't accept. Played bishop to d5. The best move was to accept. And then I went back to e6. The best move here was just to move bishop to d3, like cancelling the king from castling. So that was the best move in this position. Even you can see the computer states so. So we just went back and forth. Then I just gave up. Then I centralized my knight to d8. Then my opponent played pawn to g4, which is a weird move, because this kind of if the king castles, it kind of puts it in risk, maybe. But maybe my opponent wasn't looking to castle. Then I played pawn to d5. Then my opponent played pawn to g5. Then I just put my queen to e7. Then my opponent took the pawn on d5. Then I took back with my bishop. Then I finally got my bishop exchange. Then my opponent played queen to c2. Not really sure what this move does, but this is a mistake, because it doesn't really do anything, doesn't attack anything. Then I played pawn to e4, which is the best move in this position. My opponent took the bishop because, as you can see, it opens up the diagonal. So the bishop took each other, or there was a bishop exchange. And took back with the king. Then my opponent played check. Then I just went back. Then my opponent has to move now because the knight is under attack, which my opponent did. Then I took the pawn. That was the idea from the start. The reason of moving the pawn or attacking the knight was to be able to capture the pawn there, which I captured with the queen. Then my opponent played knight to e2. Then I just played knight to e5. Then my opponent, this is not really a trick, but there was just, it's like a force of attraction where like I attract the queen away from the king or away from protecting the king so I can have better attack. That's why I gave my opponent that free pawn. Then I played knight to f3, which is the best move in this position. Get a check. Then my opponent has to move either to d1 or to f1. Then my opponent choose the f1 square. Then I just took back with my, I just not took back, I just took the pawn with my knight with a check. Then my opponent has to move, of course that is a forced move. Then I just played queen to g2, which plays checkmate or threatens checkmate. The only way to protect in this position is to play knight to d4, covering the square on f3, because after the knight moves here, then the knight can capture, like removing the checkmate. But the best move is to capture with the pawn. But if this happens, this didn't happen in the game. If this happened, I was probably gonna capture here with a check, and then if my opponent moves, I just capture the other rook, which is kind of a miss. But I was probably gonna look first before playing that move. But the best move I made my opponent would just cover. This is the best move. Then I'll just capture, and then yes, that's how the game would have really went if my opponent actually saw this move, but didn't really see the move. Just played rook to f1, which is a mating one. Just played it. Checkmate. That's how the game ended. So the red continues. So it was really a great game. It was straightforward. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, like, comment, and share. And until we see each other on the next video. Bye bye.